Hey, hey. So what is exactly our recent news? And look who's muted now.
Wow.
I hope Nick was watching.
The one time that actually happens to me, I'm talking about news, not our news.
Well, it's still our news.
Let's see. Oh, come on. I don't know what is going on here today.
Is it not working?
Well, I got everything shared on the phone
Okay.
to all the different groups. Now I am trying to pull the video up on the computer so that I can share it to the chats on the computer. There we go.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That worked.
it's working now. Yeah, but holy cow, nothing was coming up. No, just some random things that have been on the news lately. Um, for one in particular, I really wanted Nick on here for that one because one thing I was going to bring up was this recent wave of news about exploding trees.
What?
You haven't heard about that.
I don't know. I have not.
So apparently there have been some trees exploding, and yeah, it has to do with the water that's inside the trees. When they freeze, they expand, and the trees expand.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but there is water in trees everywhere they freeze.
I
And
know,
I've seen some terrible, terrible freezes, and that's never happened.
I know. This is the first time I've been hearing about it too.
I wonder if maybe was there droughts in that area or something where they're holding on to water, or was it over water?
I have no idea. No clue. Okay, let's see.
Maybe we can task Nick with looking that up and seeing whether there was droughts or whether there was.
Well, that's why I was hoping to have him on here.
Well, if he didn't forget what time it is, it'd be okay.
From now on, the show starts at 7:30, not
Yeah,
8.
yeah.
But yeah, um, I was just watching Scott's show, and they were talking about AI.
It
They,
sounds like it. What's their consensus? Do they like it?
well, it, they agree that there are some things good about it, but there are more bad things about it. Um, I had actually brought up there is an actual case out there, like a court case, where a lawyer had decided to use AI to do his research for whatever it was he was arguing for.
Hmm.
The AI had given him false citations and false precedences.
Well, okay. As a paralegal, former paralegal, there's one thing you use, and that's called Westlaw. And the attorney pays for the Westlaw. So um, I don't understand why you would just go off and use AI just as well. I do. It's a shortcut and it's stupid.
Apparently, that's why he was using it. It was a shortcut to make it go quicker. And then when he started citing all these things, the judge was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute. Where did you get this information?" And as soon as he found out that it was AI, he kind of lambasted him and threw the case out.
I can very much imagine.
Yeah, yeah, that was incredibly stupid.
Yeah. If a paralegal would have done that, she'd have been fired immediate. So until he gets here, I got some. The only thing I've seen as far as news was Horsetooth is up in the mountains here, not too far. Hi, Tom. And apparently, there's been a what did they call it? Aggressive mountain lion, and we're supposed to be getting below zero temperatures in the next few days. Not a lot of snow here, but I thought they were closing Horsetooth because of it might snow in the mountains, which is normal. No, they closed it because of this mountain lion they can't find.
Wow. We are supposed to be getting a lot of snow here, and sub-zero temperatures over the weekend. It's actually supposed to be 8 degrees, I think, tomorrow.
We're supposed to have like 8 or 9 tonight, last I heard. But I'm looking at everybody else's, and we've got it good because we're not getting that kind of snow. But okay, so
Did you hear about Russia?
no,
15 feet.
they're
They
not going anywhere.
they had video of people jumping out of windows and sliding down the drifts.
I would be afraid I would go through the drift and be stuck there. No, thank you.
That's what I'd be afraid of too.
I guess okay. So 8 degrees tonight. Tomorrow's high of 18, 3 degrees tomorrow night, 2 degrees the next night, zero on Sunday.
That's the high.
That's the lows.
Oh,
18, 20, 24. And then on Monday, 46 degrees again.
well, starting tomorrow, the highest high through the following Saturday is 18 degrees. And
Saturday?
not this coming Saturday, the following Saturday.
Oh, we're warmer than you guys are going to be.
Yeah.
We got 46, 47, 42, 48, 53.
Oh, wow. No, I'm looking at 8, 11, 15, 7, 11, 6, 11, 16, 18.
Y'all keep that nasty crap.
Yeah.
That's strange that it's colder there than it is here.
I was over at Dad's house 2 hours ago, and the weather app that I had was showing that it was going to start snowing tomorrow night. Now it's saying it's going to be tomorrow morning.
We're supposed to start getting it tomorrow night, and it's only for like 6-7 hours till morning. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I'm just glad I don't have to go anywhere. The only thing I need to do is go outside and get my mail, get Dad's mail, get it to him, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't drive in it. I don't like it. And we had somebody put out a post, which is so true because a lot of people come here from California. They've never driven in snow. And their first year they do, they're careful. The second year they do, they think they know it all. And so many accidents. It's bad. And of course Texas as well. They don't see a lot of snow. But
A couple days ago, it was snowing in northern Florida.
yeah. Um, but yeah, there was a post put out that said, guys, if you're not from here and you don't know how to drive in the snow, take it easy and or just don't,
Yeah.
because they cause so many issues here. It is so bad.
Yeah, the last couple of snowfalls that we had here, they were real heavy, and there were a lot of accidents. We actually had, you know how on some interstates they have like those cement barriers that usually they would use to block off, um, like to narrow it down to one lane,
Uh
and they
huh.
have cement. So over here, they had them double lined all the way through. During one of the last snowstorms that we had, a semi hit it and jumped over them into the opposite lanes. And there was even a video of it. Somebody just caught it on their dash cam when it happened.
Awful.
Yeah, I could not believe it. I At first I thought it was on 69, which is the interstate that goes from Fort Wayne to Indianapolis.
Uh huh.
It ended up being 469, which is the bypass going around Fort Wayne and New Haven. But 69 didn't fare much better either.
55. Uh, Braxton's got 55.
You
Tom's got 15.
you suck. I don't want to hear it.
Let me see what it is right now. Oh, 33.
It is 23 here right now.
Yeah, I don't care for any of that. No, no. But it's going to be, and that's okay. We need some winter. Otherwise, we're going to have all the bugs next summer.
I still remember the one from Deerfield.
Yeah.
I had never seen a swarm like that before. That was so bad.
Yeah, it was. Let's see. So we have maps show where winter storm threatens to bring heavy snow. And of course, it's a damn video.
It always is.
And it's not a video of what I'm wanting to see. Okay. Uh, why? On the While I was looking at that one, it says charges pending for 25 people involved in harvesting over 300,000 pounds of catfish. Okay.
What?
What is the problem?
That's a lot of catfish.
Yeah, but if you're harvesting it, unless you're doing it illegally, what is the problem?
Okay, Tom just sent. Oh, it's going to be a -4 in Chicago tomorrow.
Yeah, they can keep that shit too.
Wow, that's colder than what it's supposed to be here. But they get the lake effect.
Yeah, yeah. I did see something today that flashed across the screen. No, it was on TikTok. Never mind. So, how true it is, I don't know. But I did see where they said Americans, they warned Americans do not travel to Mexico this month. Don't do it because the cartel have put out statements if they catch like cruises, things like that, they catch Americans on there, they're going to unalive them because of what's going on. So I'm like, well, good thing I don't have money to be taking cruises. I wouldn't travel anywhere right now.
No,
not
With,
outside the U.S.
um, especially now with what's been going on with Greenland these days. Did you hear the latest about what's going on today?
No, the last I heard was yesterday, where there was a statement made that said that there would not be force used, but um, they better come to the table for negotiations quickly.
According to what's being put out today, Trump has backed down from trying to get Greenland.
We don't. We need to take care of our own country before we're trying to take over somebody else's. Holy shit! No, those cartels do not play. But I guarantee you, if you're on their good side, it's really good. Living in New Mexico, I got to know them all.
Yes, you did.
Political chaos. Yeah, yeah.
It's
It
all
seems like it's always been that way,
yeah,
but
always.
when you start really paying attention, you're going, "What the hell? What, Tom? That's that's like death.
Yeah.
That's Alaska. That's death." I hope somebody put a post out that, if your ass ain't out there, your animals do not need to be out there. That's
Right.
how they die.
So I was looking at Greenland. Um, the first reports that that I had read was that he wanted Greenland because of their natural resource, the oil and everything like that.
Hmm.
But when I look on Google Earth, and this is looking on the actual globe instead of the flat map, if you go directly north, Greenland kind of separates us from Europe and parts of Asia, but mostly Europe. And I'm wondering if maybe he was wanting it because of his strategic location.
I don't know. It's so hard to get in his head.
I know, because it is part of North America, um, but Denmark owns it.
Okay. Oh, Braxton, I did see something about that. Um, uh, yeah. So what I did see, it was clickbait, and so I didn't open it, but it said something to the effect of, "Is Iran going to?" I don't remember if it was bomb or missile or whatever the U.S. I'm like, hmm. Well, you know.
Having said that, um, I completely get a lot of people not liking Trump. I completely get that.
Mhm.
But what I won't stand for, this happened 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago. Somebody made a post with a map of Florida and a bullseye. Um, I think it was Miami. That's where he is. Margot,
Mar-a-Lago?
yeah, in Miami. And
No, no,
somebody had, "Dear Iran, he's here."
no, absolutely not.
Uh, no, unfriended her immediately. I will not put up with that. I
No.
completely understand not liking somebody. I get it,
But
especially Trump.
but are you thinking about the people you're even talking about hurting?
Right,
That you don't hurt anybody. I don't care if you don't like them or don't, you do or don't. You just don't do that.
right.
Yeah. So, Braxton, interesting story. um,
There was another guy. It was right after the 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 killing in Minnesota with
Uh,
that ice. This one guy, every post he made, FAFO, every single time. Nope, on.
no, I do not want to scroll through my feed and see that. Somebody's opinion one time, two times, okay. But to continue and that's all you see on your feed, absolutely the hell not. And after today, which Braxton, I'll get back to that story. After today and what we found out about some of our, a paranormal supposedly investigator um, being on the registry of child offenders. That's all. I'm not going to go into words because we're going to get banned, but um, that made me really think about going through my friends list today or tomorrow and really paying attention. If I don't know them, they're gone. And even if I don't know them that well, I know how to do a background check and I'm not above it because I post my grandkids on my Facebook.
Right.
And what if they were to, or just pictures that I take out, in the public? What if I were to take a picture of somebody's kid unknowingly in the background, or my grandkids in a picture, and these pictures are getting sold? That's a terrifying thought.
It is.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna, yeah,
That's the thing about social media. Um, there's actually a way, but it would have to be on the platform. For example, on Peacock, I was watching a wrestling show, um, but I had another window open and I needed to take a screenshot of what was on that window. So I did, and it took a screenshot of all three of my monitors.
mm-hmm.
The one with Peacock was completely blacked out. They had it in their programming that if somebody tries to do a screenshot or like do a video record of what's on your screen, it blacks it out.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's
So
scary, but interesting.
social media needs to do something like that. I remember back in the day on Snapchat,
Mm-hmm.
if somebody took a screenshot or saved a picture, it
Yep,
let the other person know.
yep, yep. I like that very much.
Yeah. So they need to do something on Facebook with that.
They do. They do. Um, I thought at one point Instagram had that too.
I don't know. I rarely ever use Instagram.
Me either. I've gotten rid of, not rid of, but like I don't open any of those anymore.
Yeah.
Um, so what I was saying, Braxton, when I lived in New Mexico, my ex husband used to do some activity with roosters. If you get my drift, um, and we would cross the border going to Mexico. And the only way you're getting across, because if you get caught, taking those birds, um, it's they're going to confiscate, and those birds are worth thousands a piece. Um, and so one day we were going and got caught, and they were going to look in the back of the vehicle, back of the truck, and of course, if you cover them, they don't make noise. So you do it in the dark; they're covered, but they wanted to see what was in there, so they start opening it up. Here comes three people. They talk to them. They cover it back up. One guy comes over and talks to us and says, "Hey, you're good to go. Go." Well, when we got to the place we were going there, he was actually part of running it. So, yeah, it was. It's definitely different. But I certainly wouldn't want to be on the other side of it either. Hey,
No,
out of here. Go.
I can hear their nails scraping the floor.
That's Ghost. And little Max has taken his bed and drug it all the way down here.
No kidding.
He usually lays up there while Zach's working. And now that I'm here, he's upset that I'm not sitting on the couch with him under the blanket. So he's tearing stuff up.
Wow. Um, there may be a slight change on my trip in 2 months.
Hmm. What change?
If things go the way I think they are, I will be arriving a day earlier and leaving a day earlier to go to Reno.
Oh, okay.
Um, this was before we met, but for the national tournament, there was a second tournament that I participated in the day before I did the 2 day event. It's called the 40 frame game, and it's just one of those fun tournaments where any sanctioned bowler can come in. You don't have to be bowling in the national tournament to participate. They stopped doing it when COVID happened, and then they just announced today that they were bringing it back this year.
Well, that's awesome. Now,
So
is that going to affect? I remember you saying something about you don't want to overdo it before you actually get to the tournament.
it'll basically just be me bowling a full set on Tuesday, full
Okay.
set on Wednesday, and then two full sets on Thursday. Hey Scott, we were just talking about your show earlier.
Hey, sexy man, what you up to?
Um, but but I was everybody was under the impression that the tournament was not happening, was not coming back this year, so we were going to have to wait another year until next year to be able to do it. Then this year, out of nowhere, they announced it. We're doing it this year.
Okay. Greg, how you doing?
So that means instead of if I choose to do it, I haven't decided yet because they raised the price quite a bit on it.
Yeah.
Uh, if I choose to do it, that means instead of arriving on Tuesday, I would need to arrive on Monday.
Okay.
Which means I would have to leave your house on Sunday.
Yeah. So Braxton didn't exactly bring the bed. It was already here sitting on a chair. But here's the funny part about this dog. If he gets stressed and he can't get to me and I'm not under a blanket with him, he goes around humping everything. Well, everything is his bed. Yeah. It's wonderful. It's great. Hi, Jeremy. It's a good thing I love animals. That's all I can say. It's a good thing I love animals. Yeah, and tomorrow in the 18 degrees, I will be out there walking those animals. Last last week, the winds were blowing 70 to 78 miles an hour while I was out there, and it was a little chilly, but of course the wind made it more
Yeah,
chilly. And I had my heavy coat and I had my hood, and I was like, "There's no way," because I mean, we have big dogs that stand, up to my shoulders that are in these tiny pens. They need to get out, and they're not going to get cold out there for 15 minutes. I took the high energy ones out and just let them run, just run. And it didn't bother me except when I got home, I went like this and there was dirt all over my face. Yuck. Now, tomorrow I will go out for probably 10 minutes at a time with the dogs.
yeah, because it's
Move
going to
around, you sexy guy.
it's going to be bitter cold tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. It won't be so bad here. It's going to be 18 here.
Yeah,
But
worse in Chicago.
yeah, if there was snow on the ground, I wouldn't be going. I even if I'm inside, because I do vet services as well, where I wake them up from their anesthetic and put them back in their pens and make sure they're good, give them their pills. But um, they're actually training us to help with surgeries now. Those
Okay.
who want to. When I get stressed out,
Scott, you hump everything even when you're not stressed. What are you talking about?
just legs. It's okay. That's all I can reach. If we're standing up, oh god. Oh my gosh, the visual.
Time I did not see him coming.
Who?
Scott, he got me 2 years ago. I think. I know it was recent. Last year or 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness. It
Oh,
arrives. Are you serious? Is that right? Mime some more, buddy. Mime some more.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry I'm running late. I was on a very, I said I was going to be running late. I had a very important call I had to answer.
Key West. Are you serious? Greg, nuh-uh. Come on, come get me. We're going back there. Because hell no, I'm not ready for this.
Wait, hang on one
I'd
second.
love to go to Key West.
I used to when we were younger, and that's what Braxton said earlier. We used to go to Mexico. Just I guess it was late
Okay, so I know I
mid
just
to
showed
late
up.
80s. Do what?
So I know I just showed up, but now my mom's asked me to help move a mattress quickly. So I'll be right back one final time.
Nick, do me a favor.
Yes.
Favor. Reboot your laptop. Your video is shit.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. I don't see
Jeremy,
anything
are you sure it's not you?
because my video looks clear on my end.
He is freezing all the time and his audio is chopping up on me.
All right. Well, here
No, it's
I'll leave
working on mine.
So here, since I got to help out, I'll be back. So I'll just log out and I'll come back.
All right.
Hey, Sir Humps a lot. Give me that.
Yeah, well, if it was me, then you'd be doing the same thing, Adrian.
Yeah, he wasn't freezing up on my end or choppy.
Really? He was real bad on my end.
Love you, Scotty. Be
I-
careful tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely cold. And we still have snow on the ground. Not on the roads, but snow on the ground and ice on the sidewalks. So if we're going to be getting a lot of snow over the weekend, it's going to get real bad in some areas.
Oh,
Why would he only be getting bad on my end, but yet your video is perfect now?
I don't know. Sue said that it's fine on his end too.
That's odd.
He came back in his swing and trying to
Because usually, if it's on my end, everybody would have that. I'd be seeing everybody like that.
Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. And I'm hoping it's not a little girl.
Oh boy.
Oh, you've been to Key West? Oh my gosh. So do you believe 2 4-year-olds can be soulmates? Yes. I mean, if they're soulmates, they're gonna be, then they've met early in life, but at 4, that'd be too early to really know.
Let's see.
Yeah, Greg, you're gonna freeze your ass off now.
Okay, so I used to live in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Ooh.
It's when I was a kid, from ages 3 to 9. I used to live in Port St. Lucie, I look a little fuzzy.
You do a little bit, but I think it's just every once in a while it'll like recalibrate. Quiet.
And Key West is 269 miles. So if I get back to Port St. Lucie, I really, really do want to drive down to Key West.
I I've been to Florida, but like I don't even remember the name of the town. But it had white sands. It was so pretty, so humid, but so pretty.
Yeah, it gets humid. You get rain every day, but in short bursts.
Yeah, yeah. I don't mind that. And when I was in New Orleans, it was very humid compared to even Oklahoma. And I didn't realize Oklahoma was humid until like Zach went to Kansas and he's like, this is awful. It's sticky. I'm like, we're not even that far from Colorado. And, when he was a truck driver, he said he went to Texas and it was just so awful. I'm like, oh, well, then you don't want to go any further because it only gets worse.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it in New Orleans and Florida. Humidity, well, of course, I was also 125 pounds and humidity didn't bother me. Now, maybe now, it might be a whole different story. And the hot flashes, that would kill me.
Looking at Google Earth here, if anything, Greenland really needs to belong to Canada.
My mindset is Greenland's its own place. Let it the hell alone. Let it be its own place. It's doing fine. It's not bothering anybody.
It looks like it would connect to the rest of Canada the way the things are. The Nunavut, I guess it used to be part of the Northwest Territories, I think.
Terry. Well, yes, Texas is humid plus the extreme heat. I lived in New Mexico. It was about the same. That didn't. Of course, you didn't go out there and act stupid. Trying to. Well, yeah, people did do manual labor out there because it's oil field, but you took precautions, and at least the humidity helped you a little bit. Oh, Greg says his brother-in-law is building a house in Port St. Lucie, and he was with him in Key West.
Oh, what part of Port St. Lucie? Because Port St. Lucie is not big at all. Well, let me backtrack here.
Greg, we appreciate you coming in and saying hi.
In 1989, when we left, Port St. Lucie population was around 12,000. Less than 20 years later, it had grown to 120,000.
I don't blame them. It's
Yeah.
Florida, and people are retiring. We got more old people.
It,
I want to
it,
go there.
it was referred to as the fastest growing city at one point.
Unfortunately, this is growing too fast too because we got all the towns right here connecting, and it
Gated community? Okay.
gated community. Okay, yeah, where I went was gated too. I mean, it was like all the communities there were gated communities. It was pretty cool.
Lake Forest. Does that sound familiar? Lake Forest?
been here and there in Texas too. Been in Texas while it was snowing too. That doesn't happen very often, especially, like toward the New Mexico border. That usually doesn't happen. But I want to say it was 6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. It did, and they lost electric. They are not equipped for that stuff, and it was people ended up dying. It was pretty bad.
I, I,
They're
re- I
not
remember
equipped.
when they showed a lot of video of that too.
Yeah, they're not equipped for that, and power lines are not equipped for that. Just like here, they're trying to sue our electric company right now because the electricity was out here for, I want to say, 6 hours, and it was during that wind. Our electric company is shutting down power because they're not equipped for these winds either. This is new. And when the power lines would break, it would start fires. And of course, with the wind, it just takes off. So they shut it down, which I didn't mind. I'd rather they shut it down than, the town catch on fire. But
That wouldn't be good in your area.
uh, no, and so people are trying to get their money back for those 6 hours, which in a way I understand because the electric company is absolutely ridiculous price. They have a monopoly here. There's no other electric company. So it is monopolized, and the prices are through the roof.
Sold his house in the lower three.
Okay.
Okay, because my mom and dad, when
Why,
dad
yes.
retired, they moved back to Port St. Lucie and they moved into a community called Spanish Lakes. Now, it's not a gated community, but it's a 55 and older community.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy to say I'm not there yet. Getting there, but not quite.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm 10 years away from being able to live in a place like that now.
And when you sit and reflect on that, that is scary. And then you get through that, oh my God, what the hell happened?
You know what? A couple months ago, my dad and I went to a Golden Corral, not up here, down in Anderson, which is about hour and a half drive south. We were on the road and we decided to stop at the Golden Corral for supper. He and I both got the senior discount. Neither one of us said anything. That the girl behind the counter just racked everything up, and we both. And look, I checked the receipt when we got to the table. We both got the senior discount.
I wouldn't have complained at all.
I certainly didn't.
I
Um,
remember my mother being so excited. And of course, back then, senior was, I want to say 50, 45 or 50.
a
And
lot of places they start at 50. I've never heard going down to 45, but on this they have a screen behind the thing. It's for 55 and older.
right, right. So at McDonald's, it was either 45 or 50 at that point when I was younger. It could have very well been 50. But I remember her being so excited she got a free coffee at McDonald's. Like, what the hell?
Dad did that. He went to McDonald's and Burger King a lot to get a free coffee.
To me, the gas to get there is not worth it unless I'm going to be there anyway because my coffee pot works.
Well, McDonald's is just right up the road. It takes 2 minutes to get there from here.
Right, but starting that car, driving that 2 minutes, and then driving back costs money.
Dad did it.
I'm
He,
sure.
well, he he would stop there in the mornings after taking Angelia to ABA.
What?
Ooh,
Thank you, baby.
what do we have today?
Cheeseburger, fries, and baked beans.
Oh, so you got the All American meal.
I did. He was fixing brats for him because he doesn't care for the cheeseburger thing.
Okay.
He'll eat it, but the gas stations are busy as heck now due to possible pending weather.
I
How
believe
bad is it supposed to get there, Braxton?
I believe it. Yeah, Greg, I am very familiar with Port St. Lucie. Like right now, I can get on Google Earth and zoom straight into where we used to live. I I, I know that place so well. I miss being there. I really do. Um, I miss being somewhere where there's palm trees.
Palm trees are beautiful. My favorite vacation spot has got to be,
That's why I have palm trees tattooed on my arm.
yeah,
And
Galveston, Texas.
the other arm, I got pink flamingos.
Well, they're not there.
Well, in some parts in Florida, they are. But yeah, I really. Florida has always been what I considered my true home.
Mm.
Um, so yeah.
I'm not picky. Mine is wherever I'm at.
Well, you kind of been all over the place too.
I have, and I am thankful that I was able to do that.
So what? Where did you spend the longest?
Kansas and Oklahoma.
Okay.
One of my favorites had to be Kentucky.
So
I love that place.
so it was like coming back home when you came to Waverly that one year.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I lived right down the road next to Louisville. It was about an hour down. Yeah.
Hello, Jill. Olo?
That's Hello from Megamind movie. What the hell?
I don't know Megamind.
They're expecting it to be bad enough to where they're telling people to stay off the road. Oh, closing bridges, electric companies prepping warming centers. Oh gosh, that's scary for over there.
You know, I did hear that the South is supposed to be getting it really, really bad.
That's scary for over there. That is not good. They're not prepared either.
Yeah. Well, I know Braxton is further south than they are, but Ernie and Denise were posting about the storm that's going to be hitting this weekend. They're supposed to get it worse than I am.
It does sound like a barbecue joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cooked in several restaurants, so whatever he cooks, I'm good with.
Oh, also, we got a bit of sad news earlier. Tom Nally, his father passed away.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Have we heard how he's doing?
I I only know just from the post that he made.
Okay, I hadn't seen it.
So his father passed away around 9 a.m. yesterday morning.
I don't remember that being expected, was it?
I don't think so. uh,
No.
so I'm going to read off the post here, part of it. My sisters and I have been doing our absolute best to make him comfortable for the last 2 weeks while he was home on hospice. It all seems so unreal that he is gone. Let's see here. So through the multiple.
Thank you, Greg. See you later.
Bye. Um, Myeloma is a blood cancer affecting plasma cells in the bone marrow. And then recent month with colon cancer, with that which was a quickly growing tumor. So maybe the last few weeks they were starting to expect it.
Jill, we got cheeseburger, fries, and baked beans. I
Yeah, she got the all American dinner.
I'm hoping somebody's there to help him and check in on him.
Well, he's got two sisters.
I know, but family sometimes isn't the best in these situations.
Yeah.
Sometimes they make matters worse. He might be a lucky one and have good family, but
But I do know that Tom has spent several years taking care of him. Um,
it's
he
hard.
moved back in with his dad, or he moved his dad in with him.
Yeah, it's not easy, but guaranteed it is rewarding.
Yeah.
Wow, not bad.
Now she wants a cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what. Last week I got double Whoppers from Burger King.
Ew.
No, I love them.
Mm.
Usually they're small, but this time the meat was really thick.
Was it done?
It was done. It was the best one I had in a long time.
Hmm.
Um, so much, in fact, that I even actually did the little want a free Whopper thing that you get at the back of the receipt. So I have 3 weeks to turn that in to get the free Whopper.
Yeah, exactly, Braxton. That's what I'm thinking with everything. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm pretty sure Tom's going to be um, pretty busy for the next week. Well, actually, for the next couple of weeks, because after we're done laying him to rest, then he's got to handle all the other stuff.
Well, busy or not, if we can just leave him a message saying, "Hey, we're here. If you need a minute, you need to talk, whatever."
And Ed's here. You were just on his show last week.
Who's here?
Yeah,
Oh, hey.
yeah. Didn't you see him tipping his hat?
No. Last thing I read was Braxton. Thank you, Jill.
Yeah, no, it was Sunday. You were on Ed's show.
Yeah, it was Sunday.
Yeah, so not quite a week ago. I'm going to have Catherine on tomorrow. Catherine Hobson.
Uh huh.
Yeah, she's going to be on 13th tomorrow. 13th Dimension tomorrow. We're going to be talking about Eric von Daniken. He was basically considered the father of the ancient alien theory.
Okay.
He himself just passed away a week ago, a little over a week ago, at the age of 90.
So many people.
Yeah. Well,
When we get older,
we're getting at that age now where everybody's dying on us.
exactly. I think when we get older, we start paying attention to those names.
Yeah, yeah, we're at that age. Well, just 2 months ago, I lost a cousin. I think I mentioned that.
I don't think so.
Oh, it was right before Thanksgiving.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So it was my dad's sister's son. My dad's sister herself passed away just a couple years ago, and now Doug passed away 2 months ago. Um, and that one was a shame because I really liked him. Because sometimes you don't necessarily like all of your family members.
Mm-mm.
We all have that one, but this one here, he was one of those. He was one of those people that everybody loved.
Yeah. And then what's funny is, you hear that and you're supposed to say that at the funeral. You're supposed to say those things. But then you hear, everybody loved him, everybody this. And then you got the people that want to talk trash about him to the rest of the family. You think they were that good? Well, listen, this. At my funeral, do not say everybody loved me because they absolutely the hell did not. And if they did, they're lying. Because I'm controversial enough, if they did, they don't have an opinion.
Damn,
Oh, wow.
49?
Wow. That is awful.
You know, Jill, I think I remember you saying something about that. I think I remember you saying something about that. But what I can't believe is that you're going to be 49? You sure as hell don't look it. Now I know that Terry earlier said that he doesn't think that I look like I'm 50. I think I look like I'm 55, even though I'm 45. But the beard is not helping my case here any.
No, no. When you shave that off, you do not look that.
Well, if things go the way I think they're going to, I will be shaving it off no later than April.
Phil Collins is in hospice? Wow, I didn't know that.
I saw something earlier where it said that he wasn't doing very well,
Mhm.
and that his health had actually been on the downslope for the last few years.
That's awful.
Yeah, I did see something about that. Let's see, how old is he?
He tried to do a lot of good.
Phil. Oh, he's 74.
Uh, that's still young.
Yeah, but this picture I'm looking at him, he looks a lot older than 74. So whatever is going on with him is taking his toll on him.
Hmm.
But holy cow, what a life!
Yep.
He was the drummer of Genesis. Then he became the lead singer of Genesis. Then he branched out on his own.
Yeah, he tried to do good in his life. Now, whether he did or not, I really don't know. But he tried.
Mm, yeah, I don't really know. Uh,
Quick search says Phil Collins is not in hospice care. Reports suggesting otherwise are false.
Yeah, it's the internet for you.
Never know what to believe. Even the news stations anymore, you don't know what to believe.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm telling you, AI. I hate it.
It's actually gotten to the point where I can recognize AI statements on Facebook because people use it because you can see how it's blocked on their posts, and I'm thinking, okay, an
Yeah.
actual person did not write that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a friend of mine. She uses a lot of AI in her pictures, um, and she has even admitted on this show, but not this show, my other show, that she would use AI to help organize her thoughts,
And there's nothing wrong with that.
and she would post it that way.
But then reorganize them back to your thoughts.
Yeah, I don't know if she does that. But somebody actually called her out on it in a really bad way to
Oh.
where, okay, I can understand where you're coming from, but the way you're going about it is not the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's unfortunately the case of a lot of people out there today.
Mm-hmm.
I understand your intentions, but how it's coming across, you know, you're coming across as a dick.
Mm-hmm.
But some people don't know that way. Now, other people, they don't care.
Right.
I don't know. Uh, I can I can understand certain benefits with AI, but there's a lot of it AI gets so much wrong. Just like in the case with the lawyer,
Mm-hmm. He
you're
should
going
know
to
better.
right. You're going to try to bring AI into a legal court case.
I won't use it at work, and I'm encouraged to use it at work.
Yeah.
And I won't use it like the what is that? It like helps you rewrite things or whatever. Um, it's on.
No, Ed, you do not come across as a dick. At least not as I have perceived it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's
And
this about a dick?
you
What
know,
the
I
heck?
would tell you if you did. You know, I have no filter. No, you do not.
Now, now, Ed, if you want us to call you a dick, we'd be more than happy to oblige you.
No, that's
But
Nick that has no problem calling people a dick.
I
yes,
was gonna say,
uh, and even on this show a couple years ago, he called a guest and a sitting guest a dick. But
it
no,
was by accident.
he called it,
Sure, it was.
Yeah,
yeah.
I literally was like, come on, and all I hear about something about a dick. I'm like, whoa, what are we talking about tonight?
No,
We're
you
talking.
called our guest a dick.
We're talking about naughty things, Nick.
Man. Sorry, again, I had to carry a mattress over to my sister's house, and of course Madeline wanted to see me, so I had to stick around for a little bit before I could finally leave. Oh my god, it's
All
been
right.
quite a lot more of a busier
You're right.
evening for me than I originally thought it was going to be.
Yeah, well, it almost went to the end of the show.
Well, you know what they say, better late than never. Nico, that's awesome. I like that.
Well, it should be. Oh no, no, hold on. Let me think this through. I want to make sure I say this right. Um, better now than Nick time.
Yeah, that's right.
How's that?
Well said.
So Nick, I have an assignment for you. Um, Something that you are probably going to find interesting if you haven't already heard about this, but apparently it's going wild all over the internet.
Oh, I think I know what it is, but go ahead.
Have you seen recent reports about exploding trees?
Oh yeah, they said that they said that there was something like that going to happen up in especially in Wisconsin, like about these exploding trees of some sort.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
the only thing I can think of is that trees have water in them, and when water freezes, it expands,
yeah, that's true.
and that's what was causing these. Jill. So funny story about that.
Jill.
A very famous celebrity. His name is Richard. His father's name is Richard, and throughout his father's life, he was always called Big Dick. He really went by the name Dick. Um, he went, but his nickname was Big Dick, and the son decided, no, I'm going to be called Richard because nobody's going to call me Little Dick. I thought that was funny.
Can you imagine though if there was like two guys that both were named Dick, and then you would have to call them Big Dick and Little Dick? Then
Well, I would go with Dick 1 or Dick 2.
Dick one or Dick. And that's the other thing too. What Thomas brought up, it's not even just the water pressure or anything. The sap in the tree also,
Yeah.
it not only freezes and expands. I mean, that's kind of like it's odd how sometimes when it comes to the tree sap that it can react differently within different types of weather environments. So, like in the case with ice, it expands and it creates this blow up. But then also similarly, like for example, when you have lightning in this case, like if it strikes a tree, it will strike a good if the tree has like dried bark, I mean like wood on it, it will strike that, and it can go through the entire tree, vaporizing the sap, then strips the bark off like an exploding grenade.
Yeah, I've heard of that, but I have never heard of exploding trees where the inside is freezing, rather if it's water or sap. I've never heard of this. But if this is actually happening, that means this has been happening for millennia.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I'm actually looking for a picture right now of the so-called exploding trees, just so you guys can get an idea of what it looks like. But then I'm also going to show a picture of an ice storm that occurred over 25 years ago, and the reason why I'm showing this, you'll understand why. It just goes to show how much ice can really affect trees, whether they blow up or not. Just the amount of it's incredible what the ice can do.
now, is anybody else seeing his video freezing or his audio garbling?
No,
Because it's happening on my end.
not for me.
Okay, well, I'm going to make a video of this happening.
Yeah, because
Uh,
it's clear on my end too. Okay, so like,
Trace walking forward.
Okay, well, yeah, you just skipped again.
I did.
Yeah.
Adrian, did you hear it or?
Nope, everything's good over here.
It's really strange.
No, the audience says it's fine.
Well, I am going to get this video put on my computer, and I'll show you.
Yeah, that's no problem.
That's got to be you then.
Well, if it was happening to me, then your video would be freezing too.
I don't know. Nobody else is hearing it.
All right, so I got a couple of pictures. While he's doing that, I got a couple pictures of the supposed exploding exploding tree. Excuse me. This is really strange. Yeah, I'm just gonna. You know what? I'm just gonna get one more picture, and then.
Does it give any history? Like, has this happened before? Is this something new?
Well, that's what Jeremy was explaining. Is that this is something that's probably gone on for who knows, like for thousands of years or something like that. Because
Yeah, there would have to be.
But why are we only hearing about it now?
That's what I don't understand. Okay, I'm going to.
all right, one more. All right, one more picture.
Yeah. No, I'm going to share screen. You can be able to control it better. Okay. All right. I'm going to play it now.
Okay.
Okay, well, then you just skipped again. Yeah. See?
Yeah, not on our end though.
Looks like as if there's a screen in front of my webcam.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
We don't see it from here either.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm seeing on my end.
There's a problem somewhere.
Yeah, so that's why I was telling you to reboot your laptop because that's what I was seeing.
Well, that's what I did, but it didn't seem like it really did much.
It's clear as day on our end.
I don't understand why.
Yeah, it beats me.
There is some good news, Nick.
Yeah.
So whenever we have a guest on EVMux, they now have the ability to do guest destinations like what they used to do on StreamYard.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
just rolled it out today.
Well, that's awesome. So they could broadcast from their own like profile or whatever. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Also, and did you hear the bad news this morning?
Oh, is it involving an individual or? Oh wait, no. Wait, what bad news? If I'm thinking, because I thought you were talking about that.
No, we already covered that one. Hi, Kate. Tom Nelson's father passed away yesterday.
Oh yes, I did discover that this morning. I couldn't really say much about it because I was at work when I first saw that. But yes, I do know about it. Yes.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know Tom, he's been a regular on Fear Fans. He's been on 13th Dimension a few times. I think he's been on this show a few times too, right?
At least once or twice.
Yeah. He's the guy that does the pickle thing and the red chicken.
Yeah, the red. I don't want to say that's more of Lois's thing to say. Yeah.
So for 10, yeah, he's been caring for his dad for 10 years. So that was kind of a shock. I didn't know that was on the horizon. But
Well,
in his post, it did say that the last few weeks have been hard. I'll put it that way.
yeah. Actually, I'll just say it this way too, because obviously, as you guys know, just about almost every Sunday we play Minecraft. So a lot of times, myself, Kate, Chris, Don, and Robert were almost probably amongst the first to find out about what's been going on with his dad. And there were a few times that sometimes when we were on the calls, when his dad said he was going to go to bed, he would switch it to a video call so we could all see. So in a way, we have pretty much met his dad face to face. And but yeah, he was talking a lot about just the difficulties, how difficult it really was for him these last couple of weeks, trying to care for his dad.
It
And
is rough.
yeah,
It is rough.
and
And
and I don't know if you guys have heard how. I mean, honestly, he wasn't even that. He was only 77, which when you think about that's even my mom said that's just a few years older than her.
it is rough. And the sad part about it is, there's no reprieve. Most of the time, there's nobody else to come in to relieve you. And if you're not, married to someone or have someone there also helping, it becomes very overwhelming very quickly and it becomes rough.
It becomes rough, but and again, I don't want to get too personal of saying this, but it's like he kind of made that decision that he didn't really want to get like any type of like extra help with his situation. He just thought
Right.
he just figured it was just time to go.
Right. And that's perfectly understandable. But, if this is, let's say it's long term and they are on hospice for a very long time, or they are, invalids for a very long time with lots of high needs care.
Mm-hmm.
One person, it becomes unbearable with one person. It really does. No matter how much you love the person, it can be your spouse. And it becomes something awful. So that's why they have reprieves where people come in, even if it's for 2 or 3 hours a week, just to go outside and go, I don't have to worry for just this next hour.
Right.
There's nothing, I'm not on call. I'm not, but then your mind still goes, well, what if this happens? They're not going to know what to do. What if he says this? They're not going to know what he means. It's just a battle that cannot be won.
He was essentially just trying to enjoy, like what you described, almost just trying to enjoy the last few moments of life before it was going to be over for him.
And that's great. That is the best way to do it.
It's the best way to do it, but I still can't even imagine what.
Oh
Tom's
no,
right
no,
now.
it's still very, very awful. But
It's going to be a hard adjustment for him because for the last 10 years, that's all he's known.
Exactly, and not to mention too that they had been living in the same house together, and he also said too he's not sure what's going to happen with the house now that he's gone.
Right, and that is a very, very scary thought. We
It
have
is.
to have this conversation when we first moved in here.
That's something that, believe it or not, even my parents and I have already talked about, and this would even be before they would pass away. Because, even though maybe 30 years ago they were promising that this was going to be our forever home, we were going to forever live here. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't always work. As much as we, as much as we're trying to spend as much time as we possibly can in this house, unfortunately, it just doesn't allow that because sooner or later they might have to consider about wanting to move to either a retirement home or a smaller location. I mean, and that's actually another reason why that, in spite that I'm 32 and almost going on to almost 33, they still appreciate that at least one of their kids, me in this case, is still willing to live with them instead of moving out. Because sometimes you always, you hear the old thing that when kids graduate from high school or graduate from college, sometimes they're like, oh man, it'll be great to finally be out of my parents' house. Don't have to deal with them anymore. It may be, it may have worked. It may be true for some people out there, but there's many others out there who are just not ready to leave the safety, to leave the nest, if you will. And there's just a lot of benefits to it. So, as far as I'm concerned, my parents are not complaining that I'm still living with them, because we're cherishing every moment in this house as much as we can.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's all you can do. Everybody's situation's different, and nobody gets to, judge unless they know that situation.
Well, if you look at, I just thought of another primary example, Chris. he still lives with his mom, and he's in his 50s. So there's no
Chris
judgment
who?
at all. Chris Binder.
Oh,
Nick, correction. His last name is actually pronounced Bender.
Bender. Okay, I thought.
Yeah, when I had him on 13th Dimension a few weeks ago, we were talking about that. The correct pronunciation is Bender, but he still answers to Binder.
Okay.
I'm sure because that's how it's spelled, and that's what our minds see.
I know. I was kind of shocked by that because he introduced himself. I'm trying to remember how it was. I think he introduced himself as Chris Bender. And I'm like, wait a minute, what?
See, it's weird that it's Bender because I thought it would have. I'm thinking actually of Futurama because there's the character Bender and it's Bender. So I keep thinking it's
Right.
that way, but I kept thinking it was Binder. But yeah, Bender. I wouldn't expect that.
Well, look at the whole thing with Dr. Zoyce.
Oh, doctors. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody pronounces his name as Dr. Seuss, but is really Dr. Zoyce.
Well, I think we talked about this like a week or so ago. Then we also said the same thing too with Matt Groening. Everybody of The Simpsons, we thought it was Matt Groening.
Yeah, that one took me by surprise.
Matt Groening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because you wouldn't have expected that A sound in from OE.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
So his name was a little more difficult to process to me than Dr. Zoyce's was.
Right.
Joanne, I get that. I would love for any of mine to move back in, and they have off and on, over the years, with their families, of course. But my daughters and I are too much alike, and the opposites may attract, but the same does not. I love my girls, I do, but thankfully they still know Mama will whoop their ass even with a cane. I don't give a shit. And I've told the grandkids the same thing. I say, well, Grandma, you're going to get where you can't do nothing to us. You think that cane won't chase your ass down? You've lost your mind.
When I was young, my grandma moved in with us. She lived with us for several years down in Florida, and then up here in Indiana, the last 2 or 3 years of her life, she lived with us again. But she had always been very close to us, within a couple miles, except for the short time that we lived up here in Fort Wayne area, and she lived down in Newcastle.
Yeah, that was my grandkids. They were always within 2 miles of me. And so, when they misbehaved, she'd call, come get your kids. God damn it, come get your kids. And, they'd go to grandma boot camp.
Yeah, I never had to worry about that. She died when I was 19. I had it was 2 months after I graduated high school, and then she was gone. But we were expecting it too.
Right. No, my grandkids test me every time they're around. And I have to prove to them, hey, Grandma can still whoop that ass. Even though they're taller than me now.
I remember them testing you when I was there a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah. They test me well. That's okay. They know Grandma can still whoop that ass. 3 under 3.
All right, Nick. What kind of weather are you guys expecting this weekend?
Oh boy, yeah. So it's going to be starting at 3 a.m. tonight. We're actually under 2 different advisories. We're going to be under an extreme cold warning, in which temperatures are going to be dropping like 35 to 40 below freezing, below zero, starting at 3 a.m. and going until about 12 o'clock.
That's the wind chill, folks.
That's the wind chill. Yeah, it's going from 3 a.m. to 12 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. But then even after when that expires, the ordeal doesn't end there. Then similarly, we're getting a cold what right after that expires, we got a cold weather advisory, which that is gonna take over that will take the extreme cold warnings place, which it's pretty much the same thing. The only difference for the cold weather advisory is that it won't be as cold, but it's nonetheless, excuse me, it's still going to be below freezing. They're saying anywhere as low as 15 to 30 below. And that is going to be, that's going to start from 12 o'clock after the extreme cold warning ends until 9 a.m. Saturday morning. So it is going to be freaking cold. Thankfully, though, and fortunately, I don't work tomorrow, so I get to stay home.
Yeah, I just canceled my volunteer for tomorrow too.
I honestly, if I had to go to work tomorrow, I would have called in sick. I honestly would have called in sick because, and my mom's would say, well, you would have Uber.
Negative 34 degrees in Chicago.
It's not even just the worry of transportation to get out to anywhere. The other problem is that because again, I'm working in produce now. I'm back in produce. The produce section that we're at in this store is different compared to when I was at the last store. Literally, the doors are right in front of you, and with customers going back and forth, the doors constantly open, and you have all that cold air coming into the building. I mean, even if the heater's on, it's useless because we're facing the brunt of it, and literally, even the rest of the entire building, you're just consumed by this cold. It's like the entire store is a freezer.
Yeah.
So there is no place for you to stay warm. I'm definitely glad that I'm off tomorrow. I mean, yeah, I still got to deal with it for Saturday, but at least it only goes till 9 a.m. So at least I only would have to deal with this wind chill for 2 hours when I go out on Saturday.
Yeah, that's dangerous stuff.
Very dangerous. Oh my God. I really hope, because even though I'm off tomorrow, I really do hope they do not send the guys who do the shopping carts. I seriously hope they do not send them out in that kind of weather, because they're literally saying you can end up getting frostbite on your skin in less than 10 minutes. So It's very, very dangerous.
I'm just glad I don't have to get out these next few days except to go get my mail.
All I'm going to do tomorrow is, first off, obviously I'm going to sleep in. Then after that, get a hot shower in, wrap myself around a blanket, make some hot cocoa, maybe watch TV or rest, and have our fireplace going.
That's what makes winter perfect. That's the fun times.
No matter what, in spite of how brutal it can be, I still love winter.
Oh yeah. I mean, I like it. I like to see a snow, and then I'm over it. It needs to melt by evening. I'm done.
It's before I was going to join whatsoever, I was also on a call with Nikki and also another investigator named Beck from Australia. And they said over there, it is freaking hot over there. So I was telling them, saying, yeah, temperatures are really going to be dropping over here. And they're like, and they literally said, we would do anything to have that cold weather right now. I'd be like, you'd be surprised.
No, I would take their weather.
Yeah. Because they said it was see, I always have trouble getting mixed up. They said it was 35 degrees Celsius, which I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. So
yeah.
Let's see, 35 Celsius is 95 Fahrenheit.
Oh, that is not. What the hell?
Yeah, that's.
In New Mexico, it was 110 at times.
It's warm. Don't get me wrong. It's warm, but that's not blistering hot.
No.
Unless you're mowing your yard at 95 degrees. Then it's blistering hot. No.
They're here all the time.
Advantage of the winter here, because Nick, I don't know if you remember, but I've got all kinds of vines and shrubbery and everything in my backyard that lines up the back of my backyard.
Yeah.
So what I did last week before we got this most recent snow, is I went out there and I started cutting a whole bunch of them down because it's all just branches and everything. I don't have to worry about the leaves anymore. So I know exactly where to go to cut. And I got a shitload cut down last week.
Yeah,
See,
Braxton, don't forget
that's a
the
good cut.
candle.
I like what Braxton said.
You need a candle that's got like, I don't know, sea salt, sage, something like that, so you can cleanse everything while you're doing that.
That's awesome, Braxton. Either way,
Wait,
you know, I
why
was.
does he sound like he's trying to give us a sexy scene here?
Well, I was not thinking that. I was thinking about the
You
music.
know? Why not?
Oh wow, Lois
That's
nude.
a,
Hey.
a Valentine's Day scenery right there.
So Joanne
No,
says they're going to be.
That's
What?
rose petals in the tub and sea salt and a bath bomb.
So they say, yeah, we're. Joanne says, yeah. Well, I'm not surprised for Joanne because I know Canada. They get a lot of the cold weather up there too.
Yeah, they get back. Oh, did you hear about Russia, Nick?
What about Russia?
They got 15 feet of snow in some areas.
Really? Seriously?
There's
Wow.
Tell him about what you saw, though.
there's videos out there of people jumping out of their apartment windows, and we're talking like several stories up, jumping out into the snow. Like,
God.
yeah, it's crazy. Adrian and I were both saying we would hate to do that and just go straight down into the snow.
Wouldn't that still? I mean, if it's still several stories up,
Right.
wouldn't that still hurt?
No, but in 15 feet of snow, if you get down in there and there's 15 feet of snow all the way across, it's not a drift. It's 15 feet of snow all the way across. How are you going to get the hell out of that?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like quicksand.
right.
You have to find a car or something to climb up on,
I mean, that's
and
like
then something else to climb up on.
That's literally no different than like if you were in an avalanche or something. Because one step. I mean, yeah, you want to avoid an avalanche, but like one step of deep snow and you could fall right through. And that's actually the case with a lot of you guys have heard of crevasses, right? You guys know what those are?
Uh-huh.
You know what a crevasse is, Jeremy? Those are those giant holes that are sometimes found in snow, like in mountains and stuff. Like people that fall through. It's like a cave almost, but they're literally death traps, basically. And what happens in a lot of times when it comes to these crevasses is, it's kind of ironic because sometimes snow actually helps because they actually create something that's known as snow bridges. And snow bridges are basically bridges of snow that allow people to walk across, people and animals walk across crevasses. And usually they hold up pretty good, but unfortunately, on some occasions, only some of these snow bridges can take so much weight that sometimes you could still fall right through into a crevasse and get seriously injured or even killed.
Here we go. The biggest snowfall in 60 years in Russia's far eastern Kamchatka Peninsula.
What Sue said, cracks. Yeah, there are essentially cracks in the glaciers where people can fall in.
Yeah. They call it Russia's snow apocalypse.
Ooh.
4 meters of snow. I heard 5 earlier.
I mean, I knew Russia does get a lot of snow, especially on the eastern half, because first off, that's mainly sparsely populated. That's why there's not as many people who live on the eastern side of Russia compared to the western side. But never have I heard of 15 feet of snow.
That's not totally impossible.
Well, I mean, I'm not
The further up north you get, or the further south, depending on where you go.
right.
Look at how much snow and ice they got there in Antarctica. 2 miles worth.
Oh God, yeah, a lot of it, and that's considered a desert.
Yeah, hard to believe.
Yeah, like I'm just going to throw it out there. Contrary to popular belief, when it comes to Antarctica is a desert, and I was going to say, contrary to popular belief, deserts are not always just hot air places with sand around. That even extends to very cold spots like Antarctica, covered in snow and ice. Because if it's a barren land, regardless of the elements or anything like that, it's considered a desert.
Okay, let's see. NASA science is saying only 7 feet of snow
Okay.
uh, fell in. Hold on, no. More than 2 meters, 7 feet of snow fell in the first 2 weeks of January, following 3.7 meters in December. That adds up.
So,
That's almost 6 meters of snow. That's 18
wow,
feet.
19?
18.
Oh, 18. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
because 1 meter is 3 feet 3 inches, or three
God.
three something inches. So 6 meters, 5.7. That's almost 6 meters. That's about 18 feet.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah, and up in Russia, as far north as they are, I don't see any chance of any of that snow melting in between.
No, but now I understand why there's not that many people who live in that part of Russia.
Right.
It's just too uninhabitable. And that's actually, Joanne, I'm sure, knows this already. That's also the same with Canada because, again, everyone always thinks that just like here in the States, that much of Canada is populated. It's really not. Like most of the communities, cities, capitals, and towns are in the southern portion of Canada, like not far from the US Canadian border. The northern half of Canada, there's not, it's just like Russia. There's not as many people that live there, not as many communities because once again, it gets so cold up there. And um, that's why, for example, like there's that one of the provinces, which is the more recently added one, Nunavut, was recently added, and Nunavut only has, I think, only about like I can't remember which city they have up there, but I think they only have like about like 200 or 300 people that live in one of those in one of the few towns in Nunavut.
Well,
Which,
the total population of Russia right now is 146 million.
yeah, it's a lot, but it's still relatively small for such a large country.
Yes. Yeah. So with Canada, uh, Canada's population is 41 million.
Oh, it's even smaller.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
USA is 340 million.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
But we don't have any truly inhabitable areas, unless you want to consider parts of the Rocky Mountains.
right. Joanne says too. Okay, so he said that's why the orange peel wants it. It is virgin land and lots of minerals. And then she also said too.
So right there, Joanne, I just want to let you know we don't insult people on the show. Even if we do not like them at all, we don't do insults or threats or anything like that. I just want to let you know.
Oh wait, okay. You know what? I was looking at it differently. Now I understand what she means. But yeah. But no, the
Yeah,
Inuit nations she was mentioned. Okay, so yeah, that's true. The Inuit nations also live in parts of northern Canada where there's not. Again, it's not very populated. So I could see them living there.
yeah. And there's a thing going around saying that he's now backing out of trying to get Greenland.
Yeah, yeah.
After all of that, about
Well,
how
yeah.
he wants Greenland, how we are going to get Greenland either the easy way or the hard way, and now all of a sudden he backs out.
Well, not everyone believes he might even be still. He may be true on that. That could change. You never know.
Yeah, I don't get it. It makes me wonder if this is really a distraction for something else.
I wonder too, because let's face it, I know I've said this a few times already. It's weird because, like I said, Greenland has belonged to Denmark for centuries. So,
Mhm.
and also, I just want to throw this out.
And it
Um,
does technically belong to North America, to the
well,
North
yeah,
continent.
it's still technically part of the North American continent, but I'm just saying, as far as ownership is concerned, it's belonged to Denmark, and prior to that was Norway.
Braxton, I don't want to hear that
I
bullshit.
actually did want to show you guys. I know this seems like kind of a bad time, but I just basically created this for myself. And no, none of them are to represent Greenland. It's actually for my flag display. I have obviously another little desk flag of the American flag, but there's a different. This is actually a custom made one. First off, obviously, you guys can see there's extra white on it. So, but unfortunately, I got to cut. I'm actually getting a replacement because the other side had markings on it. What makes this one look different is actually the star field. This actually has it's like I said, it's custom made. This actually has 56 stars instead of 50 because
Oh,
again,
because of the territories.
yeah, to represent the 5 territories in Washington D.C. Like I said, and none of them represent Greenland. But I just thought to myself, it'd be kind of cool to have a 56 star one. And the only problem was you can't see it too well on the other side. There were these black dots that were these
Well,
states.
you also got too many white bars on there too.
Well, they couldn't fit the entire image on the flag. That's why there's white bars on it. But no, there were these markings that occurred on the center, and I had to tell them, saying, yeah, there were some stains here. And they did try to send me a replacement. The only problem was it was the normal flag, but also, like, problem is that they were facing two different directions. So, like, it would face this way on one end, and then when you turn on the other end, the star field and everything was on the opposite end. So I had to complain to them saying, hey, you guys got this wrong. So they're going to try to send me one more. And this, even though it's custom made, this is the official one. I'm going to keep on. I'm going to keep on the flag display with the rest of the flags. But yeah, it's to add to the territories in DC.
If we do end up getting Greenland, that means you're going to have to add another star for that one, and that would also mean they would have to make some sort of a change. Oh, what is that? Um, that memorial in Washington that Dad and I went to.
Yeah,
His thing. It's got all these pillars. It's got the state names
yeah.
and um,
I saw there were the territory ones too. So that's why.
yeah,
I
the
got
territories.
Yeah, that's why I decided to put together a 56 star flag to represent the U.S. territories in D.C.
Washington, the World War II memorial. So if we do end up getting Greenland,
Oh,
they would have to. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they would add something to it because the way that they did it, everything is so symmetrical, and by adding one more is kind of like throw off the balance. I think.
I can't even tell you guys right now how much of a topic of conversation it has been between me and one of the very few investigators I know of from Denmark. Because I was just talking with him a few days ago. His name's Morton, and he obviously has complete disapproval over it. And I told him, I agree. So it's been a conversation with me and Morton from Denmark.
Can't say I blame them.
No, I don't. I told him. I said the same thing. I don't blame him for feeling the way he feels because, like, I even said to him, I'm on your side. I don't like this either.
So, but I understand wanting to get Greenland. I get it. Um, because of where it's placed. Greenland, if you look at the actual globe of the Earth, Greenland basically separates the rest of North America from Europe and parts
Yeah,
of Asia. So they would almost have to go over Greenland to get to us if they
right.
wanted to take the Arctic route.
It's
So
funny.
when are they going to put Puerto Rico on that flag of yours?
Well, that's what the 56 star flag is to represent. It's to represent D.C. and then Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, American Samoa, Guam, and the Northern Mariana Islands.
Yeah,
So
since they're already U.S. territories, they might as well just be states.
yeah, at this point, I don't know what's keeping so long. Like, if if they really want to add state, they should have added those a long time. I mean,
Well, the
Puerto Rico in this
thing is,
case,
keep turning it down. That's the thing. Is the citizens of Puerto Rico? They have voted numerous times whether they wanted their little country to be a state or not, and every time they keep saying no.
Yeah.
well, this time it seemed like it was more of a yes the last time they tried doing it. But that's the other thing too. I had a friend of mine who requested that I should add the Puerto Rican flag to my display. The only problem is it's like, well, then I'm going to have to start getting the territories and state flags. That would be just too. That would be just too much. That's why I ended up getting this custom made 56-star flag, so I wouldn't have to get all of the state flags because that would just too much. It took a long time already to get this display put together, and I just had a new flag added of a new country that I just made connections with. In fact, ironically enough, it is Colombia down in South America, so I got the Colombian flag now.
So if we do end up getting Greenland, I'm pretty certain that Greenland's going to end up being a state instead of,
The territory.
yeah. Well, it'll be a territory at first.
That's how it usually starts. It normally starts off as a territory first.
Yeah.
They don't just become states immediately.
Yeah, and then there was something about offering the people of Greenland to come to the U.S., like offering so much money, something like that.
I don't know.
Why is
But I
he
have
trying to empty Greenland?
I
no idea.
I don't know. I don't keep up because there's so many reports out there. It's hard to keep up with them.
And half of them aren't true.
Yeah. Well, and
It,
also when you think about it too, with the U.S. territories, I mean, let's also face it too. Puerto Rico also, even during the times where its people were more interested in wanting becoming a state, that has been a plan that has been going since Alaska and Hawaii were added as states back in 1959. So that is something that has been going on for over 65 years. It was like literally they were expecting after Hawaii and Alaska became states back then people were expecting that Puerto Rico was going to be next, like very, 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 very soon. But unfortunately, of course, that never happened.
let's see. If Puerto Rico does become a state, it's very close, but I think Puerto Rico may actually be lower than Hawaii is.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, I think it is.
It's real close. So Hawaii may no longer be the lowest state in the union.
Right. If you guys didn't know, most people don't seem to know this. But did you guys know this is a particular country that used to be a U.S. territory? Believe it or not, the Philippines used to be a U.S. territory. Um, and they did originally want to become a state. They wanted to become part of the United States, but instead the United States gave them independence instead, and that's when the Philippines became their independent country. So I know it's something not many people know about, so I just wanted to throw it out. But yeah, the Philippines used to be a U.S. territory.
I did not know that. I don't know if that would be a good thing or not because of how close it is to China.
That's the other thing too. I mean, I think even if people wanted to become a state back whenever it was going to be, like about the idea of statehood, even when it was a U.S. territory, I think giving them independence was probably for the best because, like you said, because of China. And that was, in fact, now that I think about it, I think the idea of them wanting to become a state dates back to pretty much around World War II or after
Yeah.
World War II.
1946 is when they gained their full independence.
Yeah, they did that. They were during World War II. They were interested in wanting to become part of the United States, but like I said, the United States declined. And then, like you said, in 1946, they gave and the Philippines declared independence, and it's been an independent country ever since.
And we got Hawaii from them.
Yeah, because they were attacked by Japan.
Well, Hawaii was already a territory.
Was already a territory, and that was the same thing too with also American Samoa, Guam, and the Northern Mariana Islands. They were, although the American Samoa was at one point two different. It was one country, just Samoa, but then they decided to separate the two of them because now you got Samoa and then you got American Samoa.
You know, I'm looking on Google.com where you can see the thin landmass that used to connect Russia to Alaska.
The Bering Land Bridge.
Yeah, there's an offshoot that comes down south and then angles to Hawaii. So if the ocean was low enough, you could walk from Hawaii all the way up to Russia.
Wow.
Yeah,
Either way, it's a long walk to get up. It's like to go from Hawaii to.
it'd be a long walk for sure. But yeah, you could almost walk that. Um, there would be some spots there you'd have to swim across, but when you look at Google Maps, you you can almost see like that slanted L shape.
Yeah. Well,
Pretty cool looking at these things.
Well, I just recently saw a video yesterday that there's even a way that you can even walk literally from Alaska to Russia. And even though the Bering Land Bridge is long gone, there are actually two islands in between Alaska and Russia. And it's literally the dividing line. Like the the island on the right belongs to Alaska, the island on the left belongs to Russia. And
Yeah,
uh,
that's far away from the Bering Strait.
Well, no, it's still in the Bering, not in the Bering Strait. It's still in the Bering Sea, but like the two islands, I believe, are both uninhabited. But they literally said that is truly the closest between the U.S. and Russia because these two islands literally are just 2 miles away from each other, even though these are just two tiny islands because they're part of their respective areas. If you walk from that, if you walk along that, like, because they actually say that part of the Bering Sea does freeze and people can walk over it. If you walk over, from the small island of Alaska to the other small island, you're technically in Russia, and that's 2 miles away from each other. So that's the closest between the two countries.
And to think time wise, they're 21 hours apart.
Yeah, that's the other weirdest thing too is the time zone is so much like it could be like they literally said like if you're on the Alaskan island, it's like let's say 9 a.m. or so, and then you walk over to the Russian island. I don't remember their names, but you walk over to the Russian island. It's in a way, it's like you're literally traveling back in time.
It's the Dolomites Islands,
Yep,
Big Dolomites and Little Dolomites.
that's the ones.
Dolomites. Yeah, yeah, they do look like they're uninhabited. I don't see.
Yeah, I don't think anybody lives there.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't look like anybody can live there.
Yeah, because of how cold it is and whatnot. And again, it's just simply, but either way, it shows the closest between the United States and Russia.
Right. Yeah, but those two islands are far, far away from the strip of land that used to connect um, Russia
Yeah,
and
the Bering Land Bridge.
yeah,
That's the other thing too. You have to remember also is, and again, I know we've talked about this before. Alaska used to belong to Russia, but they gave Alaska to us back in the. I think it was in. I don't know if it was during the. I think it was close around the Civil War, but that was when Russia was at war with the British, and Canada was not Canada yet. It was still a British territory, and Russia did not want to give Alaska to that British territory, so that's when they gave it to us, and we purchased
give it
it.
to us. We bought it, but real cheap.
Yeah, we did. That's why Russia gave it to us because that's the reason why Alaska is not part of Canada is because they didn't want because again it was a British territory then, and they didn't want the British to have Alaska, so they gave it to us instead, and that's why, in spite of it should look more like it should be part of Canada, that's why it's part of us. So, and just like you said before, just like all these other states, it first became a U.S. territory before it eventually became a state in 1959, along with Hawaii.
Yeah, no, not along with Hawaii.
I thought it was around the same period.
Same period. There's like 2 or 3 years difference apart when one became a state, and then 2 3 years later the other one became a state.
Okay.
I want to say it's 59 and 61.
61. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Um, I I remember I used to watch like History Channel and things like that when I had them, and they talked about Alaska being bought by the U.S. And I want to say they bought Alaska for like 7 million,
Mm-hmm.
which which was a shit ton of money back then,
Yeah.
but very low compared to the size of the place.
Yeah. I mean, especially back then. I mean, yeah, it's pretty low, but and it's
Yeah,
ironic too when Russia sold Alaska to the United States. Then, of course, not long afterwards, then in 1867, that's when Canada was practically born.
let's see, U.S. territorial incorporation. In 1912, it was incorporated as an organized territory.
Okay.
Uh, I'm trying to find out. Let's see. 1867, William Seward, under President Andrew Johnson, negotiated the Alaska Purchase uh, with the Russians for 7.2 million. The purchase was made March 30th, 1867.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and then like I said, later that year, that's when Canada eventually. That was the same year when Canada was born.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. So
Okay.
next year will be Canada's 100th. In addition to our 250th anniversary, next year will be Canada's 160th.
Oh, yeah, right after July 1st,
Yeah,
1867. Okay.
they have their day. Canada Day is always usually on the 3rd of July. They have their day before us.
So even though they have their independence from the UK, technically they're still under the crown, I think.
Apparently, yes. And it's funny to think about, like when the United States also purchased Alaska. I mean, it's sad to think that even back then, that the United States and Russia had better relations back then compared to now. Because, like I said, they were willing to give Alaska to us back then.
Yeah. Practically, they did give us Alaska, even though it was a lot of money, but that was a steal.
Yeah, but also too, they trusted us with Alaska, so that's why they gave it to us.
Yeah, but it had something to do with that lower part of Alaska that rides down. I think it's British Columbia.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, either Yukon or British Columbia.
Yeah, it had something to do with that was the main area they wanted, but they ended up getting that whole great big thing. So it's 20 after. Oh, and we just crossed 2 hours. We started real late. Couldn't go live on the page for some reason at first.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, so I had to end the stream and then start it back up again, and then it worked out well. So I'm not sure why that happened. So we should call it a night, folks.
Um, I did have one quick question to ask, and I just need your opinions on this very quickly because I know I saw Zach a few days ago was posting about Project 22.
Yeah.
It's going to be on. I know it's on February 22nd. Might need you guys' help for this. I need to think of another idea for a new slideshow. For 22. Trying to think of some new ideas of what I could present. You guys have any ideas?
I do.
What do you got?
Civil War, brother versus brother. What kind of toll that took on the families?
Oh, I didn't even think of that one. That's a good one. Good one. Okay, I'll definitely consider that one.
That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Well, that's a good one either way. Um, I'll see what I could start. I could try to look for. This year, I might have to do it a bit earlier than like I usually would do it during the evening. I got to talk with Zach about that, of course, because I actually have to head out.
It was pre-recorded, wasn't it?
No, I always did it live.
You did?
Yeah, I always did it live, like I always did with every episode of Nick Files.
I could have sworn you did last year, recorded, and Zach put it like at the end.
I mean, maybe he did. I'll have to talk
He
to
might
him.
have played it again.
Yeah.
Was that what it was?
I think so.
Okay, I thought it was just pre-recorded.
There's a
Well-
link in the things chat where I was answering someone, and Zach answered with the link. And if you'll just get on that thing, you can pick your time slot.
Okay.
If it's not there, we can pre-record it and put it in another place.
Yeah, the reason why I want to try to do it early to this year is because, believe it or not, I've already been invited for the first Paracon of 2022. Sorry, 2022. Oh my God.
What you? Wait, what?
I'm sorry, 26.
We
26.
are in the present, Nick.
I don't know why I thought 22.
I could-
Take the 22.
we now want to go back to 2022. That was a bad year.
Yeah, it was.
But I was younger. I'll take it.
I meant to say 2026. It's actually going to be in Cedar Lake, Indiana, and that's just an hour drive for me, fortunately. But I was invited to it, and plus, considering that it's literally right before my birthday, this is probably as close as I can ever get to celebrating my birthday at a Paracon. So that's why I want to try to do the slideshow early before I leave that day.
Well, get with Zach, and he can send you that link, and we can see who's booked and where at, and go from there.
That's right next to Crown Point.
Yeah, it is. It's like in that same area, in fact. So yeah, Cedar Lake is just an hour drive. And for the first time ever, well, I'm not sure if Don's going to be coming out, but for the first time ever, some of my other friends are interested in wanting to come out with me this time, which is great because now it's great to have some of the friends come out and have a little group instead of just me and Tom. So it should be exciting. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. But that's the first Paracon of 2026 that I'm going to be going to. A little bit still a bit early in the season, but it's a good way to start off the year. And it's just a one-day event too, so I don't have to be gone for the entire weekend.
Okay. And being on the 22nd of February, that's usually right around the worst time weather-wise for us.
Yeah, it also depends. It's also I should also add weather permitting too. It also depends on how the weather is.
Yeah.
I would like to go to this, but at this point, it's just like any other type of weather event. All we could do is just kind of see how things look as we get closer, watch it very carefully, and see what happens, and because that's all we can do at the end.
That's what I'm worried about here too, because my daughter's coming the beginning of next month, and I just know it's going to snow that day.
Also, Jeremy, just to kind of so we get just in a way to end this. Here's that example you were saying about a exploding tree or something. You were saying, is that basically
That's a frozen tree?
Well, that's the weird thing is it looks like a frozen tree, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, it looks like a normal frozen tree. I just don't know.
Can you zoom in on it a little bit?
I have another picture of it closer. It does look unreal, but it actually is.
Not that part. That part's normal.
Yeah.
I was looking at the trunk. Maybe it had cracked.
Let's see if I could try to. I don't know if I can.
Well, you can kind of see like a cracked line that might have been filled in with snow going down the bark.
Or is that where the snow just filled in the normal? That's what I was trying to see.
hard to tell from this distance.
Yeah, it's really hard to say.
That view is normal here. That's ice on the trees.
Either way, I got to admit that does look pretty beautiful, though. Um,
Oh yeah, it is. The whole scenery is.
it is. In fact, I actually compared it with, again, I'm going to make this. I actually compared this with some other photos that were taken during an ice storm. Ironically, again in Canada back in 1998. See, like some of these pictures here, where you could see all the trees are covered with the snow and ice. Now, as pretty as it looks,
Broken branches.
well, as pretty as it looks, the unfortunate part was this was actually considered one of the worst ice storms on record. Um, it caused major power failures.
Oh yeah, yeah, it does.
Eastern Canada, including this picture right here. Look at this.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have pictures of those trees here in our yard looking like that. That Not a one of them exploded.
Yeah, here's another one. This was like just I think this was in Montreal, I think, and you could see not only the trees are covered, the power lines are also
That's
covered.
the scary part.
Well, and this, you guys, you were asking about a close-up picture. You guys want to see how really thick this ice was? Check this out. This is a photo of a twig covered in ice, 2 inches thick.
Oh yeah,
I
that's awful.
you should see the icicles that I get in the back of my house. One came down so low that it was to the bottom of my window.
Well, it's funny. Like when you see pictures like this, like from the storm of 1998. The Canadian residents there, they thought it was kind of a welcoming scenery at first because, I mean, let's face it, even with all this, prior to that, they said, it was beautiful, oh, how lovely. All the trees were covered with this ice and it gave it this kind of postcardish, almost Christmas-like feeling to it, even though this happened in early January of 98. It added this wintry, postcardish-like feeling. And, everything was fine at first, but little did people realize that this ice event was about to become one of Canada's worst weather nightmares. And literally, a staggering 1.5 million residents were left in the dark. Some of them were blacked out for weeks before power was restored.
Hopefully, they have fireplaces there.
I'm sure they did, but unfortunately, because again, I want to keep this short, but tragically, though, the ice storm of 1998 to this day proved to be the most destructive natural disaster in Canada's history. More than 20 people died, mainly from hypothermia, thousands of others for storm-related injuries. And I remember hearing that elderly residents were particularly affected by the long days without heat. Because if you talk to anybody that survived the storm, they will tell you that they did notice that the following winter there were a lot of deaths within the community. And while it is not proven that the ice storm actually caused the deaths, it seemed that a lot of people couldn't face the next winter.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Strange, but awful.
This storm was a combination of 5 smaller ice storms combined into one that developed into eastern Canada, even part of the United States. New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine all got slammed in total. And this also made history for one other thing, just to give you guys a trivia fact. This ice storm was so bad that Canadian forces were called into the crisis. Why this made history? It was because in total, 16,000 troops were called to assist the crisis. To this day, it remains the largest peacetime deployment of Canadian forces in the country's history.
Yeah, seeing all of that ice like that, holy cow! I would not want to be anywhere near that.
Oh, there were people out there when they were going through. I mean, like a lot of residents, were forced to evacuate their homes, but those that did stay home then used dangerous tactics in an attempt to keep warm. Because, like, I saw a show where they interviewed a firefighter. He said it was the worst he had seen at that time in 24 years on the job. He said he came across several cases where people were suffering from hypothermia. They were in blankets, they were in coats, but when you looked at their extremities, their faces, their lips, and especially their hands and feet, they were actually turning blue.
Yeah.
If they had not intervened, maybe within an hour, maybe several hours, these people wouldn't have been with them. And the dangerous tactics that I mean, they started seeing people using candles. They started seeing employees using like some type of makeshift cooking apparatus that made little fires start. They had people sleeping in their cars with the engines constantly running, and
Yeah.
they're creating carbon monoxide. So
And
it was
on
a
top of that, a lot of them, I'm sure, got frostbites.
oh yeah. They said it
That
was
is miserable.
yeah. I mean, just for some of these people, there was no way that they could simply stay at home. They really needed to find a place to go, and some of them had to flee south into the United States. There was a guy who had to do that where he was living with his elderly dad. Thankfully, he was able to get his dad to a retirement home in which the building was running on a generator, and caretakers offered to take him in. But now this guy had to figure out a plan for himself, and he said that he had been monitoring radio stations from the States for the last few days and was trying to wait for a confirmation that the roads would be open across the border. He would go across the border, and so he quickly grabbed some of his belongings and gave them to his neighbors for safekeeping. And that's when he fled south into the United States. And he said the one thing that he's glad he left when he did, because he said that he knew that if he had waited one more day there, he probably couldn't have gotten the car out of the driveway. And as a result, he ended up spending nearly a month away from his home before power was finally restored to everyone in Quebec.
Well, it's like, let's just be thankful that we have heat for tonight, and
Yes.
and be warm in our beds, and we'll worry about tomorrow another day.
Now, to me, like, I'm just going to say that particular ice storm, I always think about that one when it gets very cold out, knowing that it could have been us that could have gone through it. So that's the best thing, is cherish from what we learned, even in this case, from what happened back in 1998 with Canada. And, with what we have, what we could stay, what we can do to stay warm and survive. And, hopefully we don't have to have a repeat of what happened up in that part of Canada almost 30 years ago.
Oh, that was the same time that we had our blizzard indicator, because that was my senior year in high school. We had our 2-week Christmas vacation. We ended up getting 2 additional weeks because of how much snow we got, how bitter cold it was. I don't recall us losing any power, but we were shut down for a good while.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue with these ice storms and wind chills. It's like what Tom was saying earlier. They can cause widespread power outages and create life-threatening situations. And like I said, the one from '98 really proved, because you had trees that were broken, branches falling off, and things like that. And again, it was the combination of warm over cold air that made it deadly.
What they really need to start doing is putting power lines underground, so that we can avoid these kinds of issues.
I thought they already started doing that.
They probably have. They haven't done it around here.
Yeah, I'm not sure about here either. That's a good. I mean, I think they're starting to, but I don't think everything is underground yet.
It'll probably take a very, very long time to get power underground, but that's what they really need to do to avoid things like this. People crashing into power lines or power poles.
Again, with the '98 storm, their power company, Hydro-Quebec, they said, as you saw in that picture, that was just one of them. They said that hundreds of their major power lines were down. I mean, a lot of the residents basically said, like survivors, they would often said that when they got real concerned about the situation, like when they heard on the radio that major power lines had collapsed, that's when they knew that they were going to be in for a long stay without power. So I think they were probably one of the first back then to really put their stuff underground, because they even say, even for the toughest Canadian, it was an experience to remember. And they even have said that if the statistics are right, they're not going to see something like this again for as long as they live, because this was truly, truly exceptional. But to this community, it was one of the biggest things to occur. It's the biggest event for a lot of those people who lived through it.
So I gotta tell you right now, Nick, your friend, the dickhead, is on stream.
A dickhead. Oh, okay.
Took you a minute.
I was trying to remember who we're talking.
Yeah.
I say that I call my brother-in-law that too. I was thinking to myself, like, thinking, wait a minute, you're not talking about my brother-in-law, right?
No, he's actually on a stream right now, and he has got a killer background. You need to go check it out. He's got a wonderful looking background. It's like neon lights and everything.
Okay, I'll have to definitely check it out. But yeah, I say the same thing too for my brother-in-law. I love my brother-in-law, truly I do. He's a knucklehead, but I always call him usually the DH. So that's what I always like whenever they're like, hey, it's the DH.
Well, with all the cussing that you do, and you say DH.
Yeah, well, I try to. I do at times do call him. I actually do say it though. Sometimes I'm like sometimes if he messes up, I'm like dickhead.
All right, let's call it a night.
Yeah, we got to get off here.
Yeah. So tomorrow night I'm going to have Kat Hobson on 13th Dimension. We're going to be talking about the life and times of Eric von Daniken, who passed away just recently. He was the father of the ancient alien theory that I believe in wholeheartedly, because the signs are there. It is too many to ignore. And then next week, same old shenanigans.
I've actually been meaning to write, like I always do with all of our folks in the paranormal community. I haven't made a music tribute for him yet, but I'm actually kind of glad I didn't, because tragically, I should just throw this out, 3 other investigators have passed away in these last couple of days. So it was probably a good thing that I hadn't said anything yet, because at least now I can honor all 4 of them, including Eric.
Okay. So as everybody knows, we got major snowstorms coming, so we want everybody to be safe out there. Keep yourselves warm. Just make sure you be safe. Stay indoors if at all possible.
It's going to be more wind chills and snow, at least for us. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be sunny tomorrow, but it is going to be brutal. Again, I'm just glad that I have tomorrow off, so I get to relax.
Yeah. And and I realize I got to go get a prescription tomorrow. So
if you're quick about it, if it's not far, it shouldn't be too bad.
It's not. It's only like 3 minutes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's only 3 minutes just to get there and get back. So,
okay.
All right. Well, everybody out there in the audience, thank you so much for playing along with us. Again, be safe this weekend. It's going to be bad from what initial reports are saying. Hopefully, they'll be wrong, but it's 50-50 on that.
Yeah. Don't stay out too long, especially with exposed skin, because, like I said, these wind chills, especially over here, said it could cause frostbite within 10 minutes. So if you do have to go out, definitely dress up warmly as much as possible.
Yeah, because you don't want frostbite, because that can lead to amputation.
Yeah, I've seen pictures. It's awful.
Don't expose your dinkies to the wind. I mean,
oh God. Yeah, I think I'm good.
You don't want to put out there.
Yeah,
outside. You're good.
That's a terrible way. That would be a terrible way to go.
Well, you wouldn't go, but your friend would.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can actually survive without it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would be kind of weird not to have it.
Yeah.
You might as well become a woman then.
There you go.
Let's not go down that topic. All right, folks, we will see you next week. Be safe and be warm. Have a good
way to end the show.
End the show.